Alt 94.9. My name's Alexia. I'm super excited about this. I've got Daron Malakian of Scars on Broadway and, of course, System of a Down on the line with me. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
I want to start this by saying I am a huge System of a Down fan. I can't even believe I'm on the phone with you right now. I have been listening to System for many, many years. And I want to say thank you because I feel like when I was young, I was kind of stuck in this mold of listening to a certain type of music. So when I came across System of a Down, it really opened my mind to other types of music and other sounds. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. Do this. That's why we do this, so people open their minds and find new music through our music. And, it's just, that's very nice of you to say.
So Scars on Broadway will be coming to San Diego soon, and you actually dropped an album last year with Scars on Broadway. I was reading about how some of that music was just kind of sitting around for a while, right?
Yeah. I had recorded the record maybe like 5-6 years ago. But, every time we did like a tour or something with System, we'd start talking about maybe doing an album. So I was like, well, maybe I should save not just the songs on Dictator, but a lot of other songs that I've written that no one's heard yet, and just kind of holding on to them to see what was going to happen with System. And, we just couldn't come eye to eye with the kind of record we want to make and how we want to make it. So, as time went by, I just said, man, I can't just sit on these songs forever. And, it was just the right time for me to release Dictator, and I'm really happy I did. It's been getting a great response. We just dropped the video yesterday, and that's been getting a really great response.
I just seen it, and I love the whole vibe of the video for Guns Are Loaded. How did you come up with the concept?
I had like a few directors sent me treatments, and people, for some reason, when it's something involved with my music, always want to do something political, and the song was just not political. And so I came up with the concept of, trying to make a video that had more of a mood than teaching some kind of lesson or making some kind of political statement. And I think, grabbing from different inspirations from other places, I just kind of put a concept together, and I really feel like we captured the mood of the song without really explaining to people what the song is about, which I really don't like to do. And so yeah, man, I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. I worked with a longtime friend of mine and photographer, Greg Waterman, who's been working with me and the band System and Scars like for years, and he's just a really close friend of mine, so it was really cool for me to team up with him and make this video.
It's a really awesome video, and I feel like a lot of the stuff you do is always really artistic. I'm into art, so I always notice that, and I love it.
I come from a art background. My parents are both artists, and it's a sad thing for me. I see music as being the strongest form of art, and the one that I think human beings react to with it just affects us in such a strong way. And I just feel like because music has gotten so corporate and it's become such a machine that people have lost. People just don't see music as art anymore, and at least some. I won't say everybody. And so I just for me, I always, my approach is always as an artist, I use musical styles the way an artist would use colors on a canvas. And I don't like to, just use one or two colors. And that's why with the music I write, you'll find different vibes. Like I'll have heavy metal in there, but then there'll be other things in there, ethnic vibes, classic rock, or anything. I pull from a lot of different things and don't limit myself. I think I would be bored if I played in a band that was just like heavy all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm very lucky to have a fan base that accepts that and accepts different things coming from me. And that gives me a bit of a freedom as an artist.
You know how you were saying it also has an ethnic vibe. I also come from an ethnic background, and I feel like it's just in us, and I can definitely hear that in the music. I don't know if it's something you try to do or what, but it sounds amazing.
Well, thank you. It's not something I try to do it's. I think what naturally comes out of me. I'm a fan of so many different kinds of music, all across the board, and they all affect me. And when I write, it all kind of comes out of me in a very natural way. It's not really done on purpose. It kind of comes out of me by accident. I think that comes from just me just listening to a lot of music and being interested in different genres. And I think it just naturally comes out of me. And then the ethnic thing, like you said, I mean, I'm Armenian. I grew up around, Armenian music, Arabic music, Middle Eastern music, anything, not necessarily just American pop or blues-based music. It all just kind of comes out of me in a natural way when I'm writing.
Growing up, when you first started playing music, what was your first instrument, or were you like a vocalist first, or?
I always used to sing. I actually used to sing I used to go to a Armenian school, and I would sing in the church choir. So I guess you could say vocals was always first for me. I always wanted to be a drummer, but that didn't work out because we lived in a really tiny apartment in Hollywood when I was growing up, so we didn't have space for the drums. And then when I finally moved into like a bigger house with my parents, they decided not to buy me the drums because you can't turn the drums off.
No.
So they bought me like a little amplifier and a guitar, and here I am.
Wow. And your parents, was it crazy for them to see you like evolve into what happened, System of a Down and now Scars on Broadway? Were they just like, wow, like this is amazing? It all started from when we got him his guitar,
Well, my parents have heard me tell them that I'm going to make it in a band since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Aw.
I would tell them that, like, this is what I want to do with my life. And as I got older, the dream wasn't changing. So I think in my teenage years, they were a little bit worried, like, well, how's he going to make a life out of just playing music? Then, we started playing the clubs with System, and the band kind of slowly took off and, ended up, they're proud, like any parents would be. But I think the fact that they are artists themselves, there's a little extra depth in that pride. When it ended up happening, they've been very, supportive. They're at all of my shows when I play in LA. I love when they're in the audience. It makes me play better. So yeah, whether it's my friends or my family, I've gotten so much support, and people just believed in me through the years, and that really, brought me to where I'm at.
Yeah, speaking of your live show, it's funny because I've been a fan of System of a Down for, it seems, a really long time now, and I barely got to see you guys live this last time you came to San Diego.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was just blown away. And, At the Drive-In was there too. And that was like, I had never seen At the Drive-In, but I always listened to them as well. And I was just like, so like amazed by the performance that you guys gave us. It was really amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was fun to play. It was fun to do those tours. It's still, fun to play with System and, play the songs that we have. And we're all, still good together. I think some of the fans sometimes want to pit us against each other, but we're all friends. It's just a creative difference kind of thing when it comes to, there's a difference between playing the older songs and getting on stage and enjoying that. I think we enjoy that. I'm not sure we would enjoy the album-making process together as much.
Yeah, I guess it can be stressful, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it can be, especially when you have people that really want to go into different directions. And but, I mean, I've always been the main writer of System of a Down. That's mainly why I kind of saved these songs, because I thought, well, System might need them if we're going to make a record. But, I think what I do with Scars, I kind of see it as almost a continuation of my writing from where I left off with System of a Down.
So do you think that you guys will maybe record something in the next, I don't know when, or is it just kind of up in the air?
I couldn't tell you that. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't like to be a downer, but, at the same time, I'm being honest.
Well, like you said, it's a continuation of where you left off making music. So we're lucky that we have your Scars on Broadway music. I actually haven't seen Scars on Broadway live yet. I'm looking forward to the show at the Observatory March 3rd. Is this a full tour you're doing, a little run? What's going on?
Yeah, we're doing the observatory. Yeah, and then we do Arizona, San Francisco. We're just doing like a small little West Coast kind of run. And yeah, you know, I'm excited to take this lineup out and play some shows, get in the bus. We have fun, you know, and we've been rehearsing for the show, so I'm kind of putting a set list together, and I'm really excited to get out and play in front of people that enjoy Scars music.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a room full of fans. And what I love about it is, you know, the observatory is a smaller venue, so we're going to really get, you know, an intimate show from you.
Yeah, it's a treat for me because, you know, System plays such big places sometimes. And when you play these huge places and festivals, like 60,000, 70,000 people sometimes, it's great, but at the same time, you kind of don't have the intimacy with the audience. So it's great for me to have both of these worlds with System and Scars and be able to play the smaller venues, because I think I enjoy playing the smaller venues more than I enjoy playing the bigger ones.
And I definitely, as a concert goer, like going to the smaller venues.
Yeah, me too.
So Dictator was the Scars on Broadway album you released last year. Do you think eventually you're going to record another Scars on Broadway album here pretty soon?
Yes. I don't know how soon, but I think after I get this tour done, come back home. We have some System shows, and Scars. Scars is playing in May as well in a festival in Ohio, and System is playing the same festival, and so I got a couple of things.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done that before. Mexico City, System played the festival, and the next day Scars played the festival.
Oh, that's rad.
And yeah, it's great for me. And so after I kind of get all that out of the way, I plan on, you know, getting more focused on recording the next Scars album. I have a lot of material, so I'm not as focused on the writing, but I'll be more focused on the recording side of it.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. It was definitely a pleasure. I never would have thought I probably would interview anyone from System of a Down, so I'm super stoked on this.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you.